So, what does it really mean for a student to be ready for the future? I'm not talking about being ready for the next test or even for college. I'm talking about being ready for a world that is just changing at an incredible pace. In this explainer, we're going to break down the skills that truly matter. Let's get into it. I want to start with this question right here, because it's the big one. Are we preparing students for the world of the future, or are we accidentally preparing them for the world we grew up in? It's a really critical distinction to make, you know? The skills that got us here might not be the ones that get them where they need to go. And you can see that shift happening right here. For so long, success meant getting straight A's and being really good at memorizing facts for the test. But today, the future demands so much more. It's not just about what you know anymore. It's about your curiosity to find out what you don't know. It's about how well you can adapt when things change and how you work with other people. It's a completely different game. To really get our heads around this, we're going to break it down into three main pillars. So first up, the thinker's toolkit. Think of these as the essential mental tools that students are going to need to navigate a world that's just overflowing with information and, let's be honest, a lot of complexity.
So what's in this toolkit? Well, it all starts with curiosity. That's the engine for pretty much all learning. It's about being a puzzle solver, not just someone who consumes facts. It means you can look at information and think critically about it instead of just taking it at face value. And maybe most important of all, it's about becoming a self-directed learner, someone who doesn't just wait around to be taught, but goes out and actively finds the knowledge they need.
And that brings us to this idea of a jack-of-all-trades mindset. Now, this isn't about the old saying, master of none. It's actually about being agile. It's having that willingness to jump into different fields and build up a really diverse set of skills. In a world where entire industries can change overnight, this kind of flexibility isn't just nice to have. It's a critical survival skill. Okay, so having the thinker's toolkit is huge, but that's only one piece of the puzzle. Let's move on to our second pillar and see how this all connects, the social compass. These are the social and emotional skills we all need to connect with other people, to work together effectively, and crucially, to bounce back when things get tough. This compass really guides how we interact with the world around us. So on one side, you've got the external stuff, right? Like collaboration and having genuine empathy, being able to see things from someone else's perspective. And then on the other side, you've got the internal skills, managing your own emotions when you're under pressure, adapting the curveballs, and having that core belief that you can always learn and grow. And this quote just nails a huge part of resilience. A future-ready student doesn't see a mistake and think, oh no, I failed. They see it as data. They see it as a chance to learn something new, to tweak their approach, and to come back stronger. That one little shift in perspective is just incredibly powerful. This is really the heart of what's called a growth mindset. It's this simple but profound belief that your abilities aren't just fixed in stone. They're something you can build. When students really get this, challenges stop being scary threats and instead become opportunities. They start to understand that effort isn't just about trying hard. It's the path to actually getting smarter. At the end of the day, the social compass teaches us this simple truth. It's not about being the smartest person in the room anymore. It's about making the entire room smarter. That old idea of the lone genius working in isolation is totally outdated. The future is all about collaboration. It's about listening, sharing, and lifting up the intelligence of the whole group. All right, so we've got the thinker's toolkit and we have the social compass. But you know, great ideas and deep empathy, they don't mean a whole lot if they don't lead to action. And that brings us to our third and final pillar, the doer's mindset. These are the habits and behaviors that turn all that thinking and connecting into actual real-world results. So what defines a doer? Well, it's all about ownership. They take responsibility for their work and their impact. They don't just sit back and learn passively, they're highly engaged. And here's a big one. They aren't afraid of the unknown. They can actually be comfortable with uncertainty and know how to pivot when the plan changes. It's really about having the independence to start something and the accountability to see it through. And how do you get that kind of high engagement? This sentence just says it all. It's about relevance. When a student can see the line connecting what they're doing in the classroom to the real world, to their own interests, their community, to solving actual problems, that's the moment learning stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a mission. So there we have it. The thinker, the social compass, and the doer. Let's take a second now to pull these three pillars together and look at the blueprint they create for the student of the future. The path forward is actually pretty clear when you look at it like this.
We have to actively cultivate the curiosity of the thinker. We have to nurture the empathy that the social compass provides. And we absolutely have to encourage the action-oriented mindset of the doer. These aren't just separate items on a checklist, they're all interconnected. When you put all three together, that's when you get a truly future-ready individual.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question to think about. This isn't about trying to overhaul the entire system overnight. It's about small, intentional shifts. So what's one thing, just one thing, in our schools, in our own homes, or in our communities that we could change tomorrow to start building students who are truly ready for whatever comes next? Thanks for tuning in.